Hello there. So I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to hop in. I need to upload your worksheet for today. So let's hop into the file section, give you a few minutes to come in. How is everybody doing today? I have my phone balanced on my computer and I can't see anything. Okay. So, how is the workshop coming for you so far? What's come up for you? Did you guys get through the sheet from yesterday? I know it was a lot. Okay, we have day 2 uploaded. Alright, so I know it was a lot on there yesterday and a lot to go through. But I think that if you follow this in the order as it's written, I think you'll find it really helpful. Okay, so I know there's a little bit of a delay. We'll give a few minutes for people to hop in, get your questions ready. I know that this was a big one, and a lot of you have asked for specifically tools on self-love or self-forgiveness. So today we're going to work on the acknowledgement, and tomorrow is going to be the letting go. So have to do one before the other, so it's a 2-part. Oh, and did you notice I have switch plate covers now? You guys have been with me since I opened the office and had some things missing, so you can't see the picture, but this switch plate cover actually matches this beautiful painting that I found, and it's directly in front of me. So it's a picture of, you ever see the ocean? Let's see if I can just show it to you instead of explain it. I'm just so hesitant to move the camera, but it's gorgeous. I have to show you. Okay, there we go. Let me move back. Isn't that beautiful? So that is what I'm looking at every day. So let's try to get this phone back in a spot that it's not toppling over. Good. Okay. So we're going to get right into it. Today we're going to talk about, like I said, self-forgiveness. And this was a big one for a lot of you. So I'm going to go through the exercise. There's a whole worksheet that I uploaded for you. But I want to kind of dig in deeper to get your mind flowing. Sometimes we don't realize that we need to forgive ourselves. So the process of this is intended to open up your mind to see what you might need to let go of. And I'm going to just open up my notes. Okay, so we're going to start with the acknowledgement. So we want to go in and look at what we need to let go of. Maybe we know something is there, but we haven't named it yet. So we want to acknowledge what we need to let go of. And there's a few different things that we're going to work through in order to do that. Okay. By the way, this is my favorite scarf. Hot pink and orange. If you follow along on the worksheet, you can answer the questions as we go, take notes, or go back to it later. But I'm going to dig into the questions a little bit so that you have a full understanding. A lot of times there are things that we blame ourselves for, or that we are judging ourselves for, that we need to let go of. And I want you to look at what you may be holding on to and what are you blaming yourself for. I want you to say this to yourself in a way of present state and from a victim mindset, meaning a painful mindset. What is it that you're blaming yourself for? What judgments are you having? And the thing that you are judging yourself for. So you're basically naming it. There could be a particular incident that happened, something physical about yourself. There could be a relationship, whatever it is. What are you blaming yourself for? I'm going to write it down. And I want you to notice how this makes you feel when you think about it. What are some of the emotions? Does it make you feel isolated? Does it make you feel sad? Does it make you feel lonely? Does it make you feel angry? Go through the different emotions, and as many as you feel because of this, I want you to write down the emotions that you're feeling. And notice how these thoughts of what you are holding on to and the feelings that you're experiencing, how is this affecting your self-esteem? What is it preventing you from doing? Then you want to look at, and you don't have to worry that I'm going too fast or you can't write fast enough. All of this is on the worksheet, but very often you just need a little bit of an expansion. So going through this in the video is just meant to kind of get the wheels turning and give you a place to ask questions as you're going through this. So let me just open up my computer to the page so in case anyone posts anything, I can answer on the computer as opposed to answering, I think it's strangling me, as opposed to answering, oh, I love it, but it's strangling me, on the computer. Okay, much better. All of a sudden it got so warm in here. Now, I want you to think about the situation, and has it caused you to feel any guilt or any shame? And if it has, I want you to rate each of those, the guilt and the shame, on a scale of 1 to 10. And after you do that, I want you to notice that what comes up for you. Is this guilt to be expected? Is it something that is assumed, or it feels like it's natural that based on whatever it is that you experience, that the next thing that you should feel and that society would say is acceptable is guilt? So does it feel right that you feel guilty for what happened? And you're going to answer that and explain it. Explain why you think it does or why you think it doesn't. Sometimes guilt is appropriate. I keep getting phone calls as I'm doing this. That's the thing about doing it on the phone. Now, as you look at how you feel about yourself, I want you to notice the feelings that come up and that are on the surface and see if it's a limiting belief. Is it something that maybe is not true and it's influenced by those around you? Maybe a loved one, a parent, has said something that has been instilled in you, and now you're holding on to this limiting belief and accepting it and taking it in as your own. So I want you to make note of that and see what comes up for you. So everything that we're doing again is on the worksheet, but this is meant to be a way to open up and to acknowledge what may be holding you back. Very often, like I said, people don't know what areas of their life that they need to forgive themselves for. You might not think that you need self-forgiveness, but after going through these questions, it'll come to you to realize that you do. The next part is real simple. They are a series of yes-no questions. I'm going to just open them up and we'll go through it together. Oops. Computer. Okay. So these are yes-no questions. What I want you to do is go through these questions, and if you have to say maybe, you can, but I would prefer that you sit with it for a moment if you need and see what the first thing that comes up for you, and if that remains, yes or no. If you have too many things that come out as a maybe, it could potentially be not 100% truthful, and you could be avoiding what you need to look at. So do your very best to see if it comes up as yes or no. Alright, and let me just open up these questions. Okay. When I judge others or get angry with others, it is actually what I do not like in myself. Very often, if there is something that you don't like in other people or that triggers you, it's something that you need to look inward and figure out what is it bringing up in you. So have a look at that and see what comes up for you. Then I want you to say to yourself, I have healed myself and recreated how I see myself. So what that means is you've let go and you now see yourself in a different light, in a positive light. If you haven't, it's okay, because we're going to go through the letting go process tomorrow, but it's good for you to see where you're at in the process. The next question is, I realize that nothing has a right or a wrong, and I release myself from judgment. So sometimes we are so attached to being right that we don't allow ourselves just to be. So if you feel like you have a need to be right or prove someone else wrong, it's something to be aware of. So notice if it comes up for you and see where you kind of fall on the spectrum. Okay? I accept things as they are and have let go of the need to be right. What does that mean? Basically, what I was just saying, are you comfortable with allowing things to be explored? Can you present an idea or a suggestion and not be attached to the outcome? Are you comfortable with just being in the moment and sharing ideas and not having to be the one who's right? It's very important. I accept that I can learn and grow from the situation. So, whatever it was back to the beginning that has brought you to a place where you feel that you need to work on forgiveness for yourself, do you see where you can learn and grow from what has happened? And going through this series of questions, I want you to make note of what is the main thing that has come to light, that has come to surface, and that you need to acknowledge. All of this together is going to be what we work on tomorrow for the letting go process. This is basically the acknowledgement. So going through the steps to see what parts you need to acknowledge, what parts you need to forgive, and what parts you need to let go. And so you're going to go through those questions. If by chance you missed yesterday's video, definitely go through that, because there's an attachment and worksheet. It's relatively long, but it's going to lay the outline for this whole week. So you definitely want to make sure you catch that. I'm going to hang around for a second just in case you have any questions. If you do, post them in the comment box below. And if you're catching it on the replay, make sure to post your questions below. And I'll be sure to answer any questions that you have in the process. Remember, tomorrow is going to be the stages of letting go, but you just want to make sure that you have the acknowledgement part of it prepared so it flows and you know what you're working with. Okay? So I don't see any questions yet. I'm going to sign off. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.